And good morning. Before I go to work, I'm going to get at least the who would win out. I know I'm behind on the what if. I'll get that out today too, along with the other what if, plus the review for Snow White, the full review. But that being said, from Caesar, 38, we have the question of who would in a fight? Red X from Teen Titans and a little bit of Harley Quinn and the comics versus Dabi from My Hero Academia, also known as Toya Todoroki. He was the original favorite son of the Todoroki family until he just went kind of nuts for his dad's affection. Jealous of Shoto, and nearly tried to kill the kid, kill him as a baby. While his flames do surpass Endeavor's in heat, he has blue fire as opposed to just standard fire. He doesn't have the constitution like say someone like Endeavor or Shoto does. So his body starts to break down every time he uses his abilities. And technically speaking, he's not truly a Nomu. He's more of a prototype Nomu. But this is why apart from the burns on his body, this is why he actually survived the way he did, the accident that he did. Because the doctor was able to save him. And he has gone by Dabi for the longest time. As I said, his main quirk is fire. It's blue flames that burn just much hotter than Endeavors do. But his constitution can't keep up with it for too long. He can't use his powers extensively without damaging his body. And that being said, when we get to near the end of the series, he does not give a rat's ass. He is more than willing to just degrade and just burn his body to cinders as just kind of like a supernova. Now, he doesn't have the heat of a supernova, mind you. He doesn't. But enough to burn a city to ash. Oh, he's got enough of that. He got enough heat for that, certainly. He's also was able to copy Shoto's phosphorus ability to some degree. Now, what was that? What does that ability do? Essentially, it's like, as he put it, he was combining his ice and his fire together to create a cold fire, which negates other flames. And he was able to kind of create a pseudo version of that, minus the fact that he doesn't have ice abilities. Although he does have the constitution of an ice user, which is why he doesn't, because his mother is a ice user, which is why he always had trouble with his flames. Still, ultimately, his fate came down to the fact that he just used his body to its max and beyond its limits, and he died. I think they gave like a timestamp, like a couple weeks to a couple months. He died shortly after the war, and he was captured. But still, these exceptionally powerful. Red X, we still to this day do not know Red X's actual identity. He is a thief that stole the Red X suit. The Red X persona was developed by Robin to try to get Slade, but that ultimately didn't work because Slade figured it out pretty easily. He powers it with zirconium or some made-up material which is highly volatile and dangerous. He's a expert martial artist, skilled at stealth. He's also a good tactician. His suits from the Red X's that are on his palms are able to pretty much do whatever his mind allows, from just shooting energy lasers to physical, like just deterrence, to binding and grappling, to creating like buzzsaw blades. It's really just about what his imagination can do with creating an X. Now, back to his identity real quick, though. Again, we don't know for certain what his true identity is. There are theories about what his identity is. Beast Boy has said everything from a clone to an alternate version of him to a robot. And one of the big prevailing theories, at least within the Teen Titans lore, was that he was Jason Todd. And in one short called The Unmasking of Red X, it did show this Jason Todd, only to show that it was just a mask that he was wearing for other characters as well. And it turns out that Red X wasn't even the real Red X. But as it stands, the prevailing theory for the main series Red X is that he is Jason Todd to whatever degree. Although that I can't remember if Red X exists in the same world as a Red Hood, because if that's the case, he's not Jason Todd, he's someone else. And I know he shows up in the Harley Quinn animated series in season 5. I have not gotten to season 5, and I do know, spoiler, who he is in that, and that's not canon to anything. Although, I guess he is technically canon. It's just a different type of but regardless. So, the question is, could Jason Todd, with his tricks of his trade and his ingenuity, defeat Dabi's just sheer firepower? That is difficult because Dread X does fight metahumans. In fact, the suit is designed to be able to defeat each one of the Titans individually. That includes Beast Boy, who can transform, Cyborg with all his technology, Starfire with her superior strength and laser bolts, and Raven. That's just designed to beat Raven. And Dabi is not as strong as Raven. Hell, I doubt he's actually as strong as Cyborg or Starfire, to be honest. So, in theory, based on how the suit is supposed to perform, it should be capable of beating Dabi. But the question would just come down to, could he actually, like, say, get close enough? Because the sheer firepower Dabi would throw out would be, the suit it might be a bit of a deterrent. Excuse me. Might be able to deter some of the flames heat to some degree, but it's kind of like what happened when Batman Terry McGinnis fought Phosphorus Blight. Bruce Wayne basically said the suit will give you some protection, but you got to get away from that thing. I'd imagine it'd be the same thing here. It's like that suit only takes so much, and if it's like continuous streams of that super heated fire, you can only take so much of it. So he can maybe using the X's, I guess we'll call them, create something like shields, like spin them around to kind of block and then get into Dabi, like maybe cut into him. I can see that being possible because we don't know how volatile. I mean, we know it's volatile, this stuff. But we don't know exactly how volatile it really is. Like, could it like stand up to fire? I imagine when he creates an X, it's pretty durable. He can also bind Dabi up pretty hard. Dabi might have to try to melt the X away, which I'm imagining is possible to do. But again, the amount of heat, plus then X is throwing X blades at him. X won't give it to you. So, and definitely he's the smarter, more strategic individual and the better fighter between the two of them. So do you factor skill and tech over sheer raw literal firepower? I would go yes, because Dabi can't keep his flames up forever. And if, honestly, X could theoretically just outlast him in the long run. He could just not get hit and just piss off and just like constantly keep in the fight, throwing X's, maybe injuring him. And Dabi just would go crazy after all. Now, to be fair, Dabi really only went crazy against his family. He kind of kept it conservative and reserved as well as he could when he was fighting anyone else. But if X kept keeping him in the game, he would kind of push Dabi to his limits after a while. And like I said, X's suit probably does have enough resistance to the fire to maybe charge in once, as long as he's like maybe doing something else to prevent serious burns, and get in and maybe actually do some serious damage at least once. Overall, I'm not going to say it'd be an easy fight. The amount of fire he can produce and the sheer heat of it is intense. But I'll go with the Red X. I'll go Red X. That's my opinion, though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.